Anyway, so, shall we get to our third topic, ladies and gents?
Ladies.
Right then, so people, you all voted, and you all want us to discuss death battles we were too harsh on in the past. Now, this doesn't mean episodes we just absolutely hated. It could just be episodes we just thought were meh, or ones that, yeah, we didn't really like. We thought they were terrible. So, I've got 3. I'm not sure what...
I do.
Okay, so Fireball has 2. Mate, how many have you got?
I have at least a big one.
Okay.
Which, oh boy.
And Sean, what's your one?
I think I can talk about one of them. We'll see how it goes.
Alright, so shall I do me first, then Fireball, then Sean, and then Mate's one seems like a big one, so should we save that for last?
Sure.
Right then. So, people, let's be real here. Death Battle's been around for so long. There's episodes where we just absolutely tear apart because it was either just atrociously bad, but over the time we've become more mature, even though our humour says otherwise. So, I personally have 3 episodes that I think I was a little bit harsh on. Now, I'm going to go in this order. One that I thought was just okay, one that I thought was mediocre, and one that I originally thought was terrible. So, the first episode, which I'm not sure if Mate will get mad if I say this, because we never really got to talk about this episode, really, because he was on BroBusCast. The episode that I originally thought was just okay was Blake versus Mikasa.
Ah, yes, this episode.
Really?
Now, okay, Mate.
A lot of people weren't on.
Now, mate, before you point that gun at me, before you point that gun at me.
Oh no! I
again,
would have been doing that if this was the third one.
I remember our ranking for this. You had it the lowest out of all of us.
Okay, now let me be clear about this, mate. Do not clock that gun. Now, despite it was the lowest, the majority of those episodes that season I thought were good. It's just that the other ones I think just did things better. Now, if we were to do the ranking list now, that would change. So, I guess I'll do a mini review. What did I think of this episode? Now, of course, I'm not a Blake fan, nor am I Attack on Titan fan, so already the episode wasn't appealing to me. The humour wasn't great in the analysis, and the fight was good though, so that's what I gave it a pass. It's like, analysis wasn't great, I didn't really care for the characters, and the episode didn't convince me to like it more. So what increased it for me? Well, over time I have started to like Blake a little bit more. I think season 8 and 9 of RWBY have changed my perspective on her. Obviously I haven't watched Attack on Titan yet, and I'm sorry people, I have no investment in the show. I tried to look at clips online of it, and I just can't get into it. And I could go on a rant about some of the characters, but I don't want to, because Mate is now loaded an RPG now. So, what made the episode better for me was the fight, because going back to watching it, I thought it was okay, and not just okay, it was a good fight, really good animated. Now, going back to watch it now, the reason my perspective changed on the fight, which is, funny enough, thanks to Nostalgia Critic. Hear me out. So, he did a review on the Puss in Boots movie, which, I don't know what's so nostalgic about that, because that was recent, but, it was a funny review, so I'll let it pass. But now he brought up why he liked the frame rate slowing down that Spider-Verse used, and even this Death Battle used. Because one, if you were to slow...
And also All Might versus Might I used, which I'll be calling back to.
Yeah, so... Now, it's taken me a while to get used to that type of animation. I see the appeal of it, but I feel like Spider-Verse and Puss in Boots are the only ones, at least as far as I was aware, that managed to do them justice. Now, Nostalgia Critic brought up a good point. I'll just say Doug Walker, because it's easier to say. Doug pulled out a good point, is that if you were to slow down the first opening fight, you could just see how much work went into each shot just to get these really great images. Like, slowing down Puss in Boots, you could get some really creative shots, and even some things you wouldn't see when it's in motion. Like Puss in Boots' funny expressions as he's dodging the bell that was about to crush him and stuff like that. So, after watching that review, I was like, let me actually watch some Death Battles that use this style and see if they kind of had that. All Might versus Might Guy had that, and there wasn't really that much they did with the frame rate. They just wanted to catch out Spider-Verse sequence. It did it okay. Blade versus Mikasa though, I think there was a lot of effort that went into each shot when these characters fought. I think one of my favourite ones, when I was slowing down watching it, was when they're swinging through the city and Mikasa tries to go overhead of Blake. You could see Blake's eyes following Mikasa the entire time. And I was just like, oh, wow, okay. Because they could have easily just had Blake's head just turn to face Mikasa. But the fact that they legit had the eyes follow Mikasa, I was like, oh, wow, that's sure, that's not a big improvement, but the fact they went into that much detail just to get a good shot was pretty good. And honestly, the last climax of the fight, I think, was a lot better than I originally thought. I think originally I just thought, nah, it was fine. But no, the build up to the death as well, like even the kill shot, like I don't know why I never saw this first time. The way Blake captured the rocket before it managed to go off, including like, again, when you slow it down, you see the detail when she switches her Granville shroud to redirect it into Mikasa. It's like, wow, they really put a lot of details into this fight, and they didn't need to. So, yeah, the episode, I think I would put up much. I'd say I'd put it like 9th place, whereas originally I had it, what was it, like 14th, 15th?
I think it was 11 or 13.
Okay, you made it sound like I put it so far down. But, yeah.
Because May had it at number 1 and I had it at number 5.
Fair enough. Well, I think my opinion on it has changed. That could be something interesting to do, like, maybe if we do a re-rank of previous seasons to see if, like, our perspective has changed. So yeah, that was our episode. I thought it was meh originally. Now I think it's good. I have no complaints.
Actually, there is a thing I want to just quickly comment on because you brought up the frame rate and I mentioned All Might versus Might Guy.
Sure.
I remember seeing people praise All Might versus Might Guy for like its use of that frame rate, but Blake versus Mikasa does it and they complain about it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a double standard. That again, can you really call that out after the whole Queen shit and you liking the Killua jokes? So I'm just saying, I think
I hate to say it, mate, but I think Bill got you there. So here's one of these.
Stop with the soundboard.
I mean,
I know it was used to defend me, but at the same time, I was like, fuck off with it.
I mean, I was gonna go into another thing, but all right.
But no, okay, no,
Bill.
I get what you're saying though, because I'm just even going to say it. Blake versus Mikasa did it better. People, fight me.
So, Bill, was that the Nostalgia Critic episode of the how you got this idea?
I'll give you a 5 out of 10 for trying.
He was asking if that's how you got the understanding of Blake versus Mikasa.
Oh, I thought he was trying to make a pun, like, oh, is this like a nostalgia trip back? No. Okay, then. So, I mean, it kind of was a nostalgia trip. But yeah, I think it could be interesting how, if you learn about something and then go back to it, you might end up liking it. Now, of course, did my perspective change on the analysis and the humor? No, I think my opinion on those is still the same. But the fight, and even the music as well, I never gave it much credit. Like, the music's also pretty good.
Thundershroud is an absolute banger.
It is a banger. I did enjoy it.
I listened to it way too much. I'm not even gonna lie.
I can't judge you. I've been listening to Fireborn every day when I'm on my way to work. Right.
Sounds like you got the Princess of Pride syndrome again.
It's such a good song. Alright, then. So the next episode I want to go to that I originally thought was just meh. And that was Joker versus Sweet Tooth. Now, Season 3 episodes, I think we could safely say there's more meh episodes than there are good ones. Don't get me wrong, there are some bangers in Season 3. Amy Rose versus Ramona, Hulk versus Doomsday, and I'll even say it, Tracer versus Scout. I'm not sorry, Sean, I'm saying that.
I would also add Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter and
too.
Dante versus Bayonetta.
Okay, the whole Tracer versus Scout thing. A big old that episode is still awful.
Just insert Donkey Kong's Sean perspective.
I like it.
Oh, God.
If you like it, that's fine, but just understand that I do not like it.
Fair enough. Okay, but we'll talk about that maybe another time. So Joker vs. Sweet Tooth was an episode that I thought was just meh. So when Joker was revealed, I was like, fuck yeah, Joker! My thought was, oh, it's got to be Green Goblin, or maybe the Hobgoblin even, or, you know, someone from the Marvel side that matches the Joker. Or hell, I would have even accepted Mysterio, but obviously there's another Mysterio matchup versus DC character I'm more interested in now.
Yeah, also, that would have been right after Flash versus Quicksilver, so that would have been 2 Marvel versus DC fights in a row.
I would not have cared. Like I said, I like Marvel versus DC fight. I could not give a shit.
Surprise! It's Needles.
Yeah, or Sweet Tooth, the vehicle, and I'm just gonna say it, I don't like the matchup in itself. But
I think that's the weakest part of that episode. It's just the matchup. It's kind of dumb.
yeah, and plus, I was just rooting for Joker, because you know what? Sweet Tooth is a monster that enjoys what he does. Sure, so does the Joker, but the Joker's mentally unwell, and he is even always trying to get help, but because there's always that side of him that kicks. You know, that's why I thought, you know, Green Goblin was perfect. You know, they're both people that were just like, sure, not perfect, but they were mentally unwell, and then there's that side of them that kicked. You know,
I mean, there's still a chance that matchup could happen.
yeah, and I'm rooting for it. It would be a good episode. Now, and the fight itself just looked... okay, keep in mind, this was like 8-7 years ago. Understandably, the fights just did not capture the epicness of it. Like, we had Ratchet and Clank and Dante versus Bayonetta, and those were some really good 3D fights. And this one just felt... I don't know, it just didn't feel good. But obviously, it's been 8 years. Or maybe longer, I don't know. So, how did I...
Yeah.
Obviously, I was watching it now to say, okay, let's see if my opinion on it's changed. And, you know what, I gotta say, the fight was actually a lot of fun. The car chase, Joker stealing Needles' ice cream, and just how the fight starts with, like, Joker pulling out a Tommy gun. Let's get wild! Da-da-da-da-da-da. You're roadkill! You hear me? It's like... There was so much humor in the fight. Okay, 7 years ago. 13 million? Really? Oh, damn. Okay.
I just took a look.
Wow, okay, well, fair enough. I guess that episode did something good if it got 13 million. So...
I will also just add Joker's line, so many buttons. Eeny, meeny, miny. All of them.
All of them.
I love
Bro,
that.
that's why I love this episode. It's just the voice acting, especially for Joker, was so on point, even though it's not Mark Hamill.
Yeah, do you know what? He may have not been Mark Hamill, but he was brilliant.
He's done a
Came
pretty
back
good.
to voice Goro, if I remember right.
Really?
Yeah.
That is...
Oh yeah, I think it's Keston Howard. I'm trying to find the.
No,
credit
it's
real quick.
not him. What is
Okay.
it? Oh, hang on.
Double checking.
So many lines, like he pushes the super speed button, best button ever. Or the bit
Okay,
where
no, it was Lucas Schoenemann. Schoenemann? Yeah, Lucas played.
There we go.
Okay, I'll speed through the rest of the things I really liked before I get to this one's gonna surprise a lot of you guys. My final one.
Okay,
So
I didn't know this. Because I thought was pretty well voiced. That was Gianni.
oh really interesting.
Yeah, he went from Lex Luthor to Needles and died again.
He did a really good job with Needles.
He doesn't-
Though. I think the voice acting is why I like this episode so much.
Oh, the voice acting was so good. I still love the bit where he jumps into the car and goes, "Oh, excuse me, I want to drive," and then just fighting over the steering wheel. And
Yeah. Also, some things just make that fight more impressive from an animation style. I think I remember hearing that Torian spent a lot of time trying to just work on Joker's facial expressions.
oh yeah, like you gotta
And
capture it.
do you remember that transformation sequence from the truck to the sweet bot? That was from scratch.
Nice. That's kind of good. Oh, that's a good segue. The thing that I was slapping my knee to, because I don't know why I didn't. I must have been going through an emo phase. He transforms to a robot. Joe's like, that's funny. Fucking gets backhanded in fucking building. I was like, what?
Joker gets back in it, and you just hear the Yoda scream.
I mean, I'm gonna edit that in. Like, I'm getting a Yoda screaming in one episode. It's just so funny. And of course, though, despite how humorous this fight is, something we brought up in the last episode, wow, the build up to the... Now, okay, is this as brutal as some of the previous deaths? No. But I love how Joker was easy to show he's a... You know, he's a bit crazy, but then it showed his sadistic side. The whole he knew how to manipulate needles, and he used that to his advantage to use his Joker venom. I was like, I actually had chills watching that, and then that laugh at the end as the police come in, one that glitches through a bush, which I find hilarious. Like, just, man, this episode was a lot better than I must have been in a bad mood when this episode came out, because, nah, this episode was good. But now, you're all probably thinking, what is the big reveal? You know, what is the episode that Bill was really harsh on that he thought was utterly shit? Well, that was Batman versus Spider... No, it's not. But no, it's actually Sasuke versus Hiei.
Really?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Get to talk about Sasuke versus Heihachi again, mate. Let's go!
For God's sake.
References!
That was me.
I honestly forgot about that.
I had to pull one out.
Oh my. Alright.
God damn it, bud. Why Sasuke versus Hiei?
Okay, and so... Okay, going a bit personal, this is coming out during when the original Lads Discuss Death Battle was kind of having some drama with one of the hosts, and it got to a point I left, and then the other guys didn't know what to do to the point we just cancelled it. So
Wasn't that the following year?
Wasn't that I'm pretty sure it was literally the same year when that was happening.
No, Sasuke vs. Hiei was season 6. Like, the original Lads was season 7.
No, it was also this season. No, it was that season when we were doing it. I'm pretty sure.
You brought it up during season 7 on the original Lads? But go on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so yeah, when that episode came out, I was understandably not in a good mood. I wasn't even that much interested in Death Battle. Maybe mate was right. Maybe it was something else that affected it. But anyway, so obviously I wasn't in a good mood, and obviously Sasuke getting killed in that episode, you know, didn't exactly help with that mood. And losing to a character I don't like, so again, just added salt into the wound to the point I could just hit sand out of my ear. Now, obviously, I'm back doing Let's Discuss Death Battle. I've got more of a positive outlook, and of course, I was binging episodes. And yeah, I was way too harsh in this episode because this episode's fucking amazing. Like,
I remember leading up to this episode, I forget his name, but Hiei's voice actor was like, "Yeah, better fucking win."
Oh, Chuck Huber.
And Chuck Huber got so excited for this one because of how much he loved playing Hiei.
and you know, the voice actor for Hiei in the actual fight was really on point, really good. So yeah, so the death itself is also pretty damn brutal. And honestly, if I wasn't in a bad mood, I would have been surprised because I was one of the people thinking, yeah, Sasuke's going to absolutely destroy him.
I think everyone thought that.
Yeah. Now, I will admit, I don't 100% agree with the episode. I am still on the fence that Sasuke would win. Now, of course, am I butthurt about it? A little bit. I'm not going to lie. But obviously, you know, I'm a bit more mature now and I'm a lot more understanding. So, yeah, the episode was pretty good. The music's great. The animation was also on point. The analysis was funny. And, yeah. You know what? Overall, it was a really good episode, and I really hate the fact I was in such a bad mood when I watched it, because it really did snuffle out my enjoyment. So,
I think sometimes you have personal bias, and that can affect the judgment of an episode.
Yep.
yeah.
When you grow past that, you know you've matured enough to overcome an episode and see like how good an episode turned out to be. Especially that final clash with Sasuke versus Hiei, that was so good.
It was, like, I really had a lot of fun with it. Now, I guess now we'll go to Fireball because he has a few more episodes. Well, I mean, you said you only had 2, right, Fireball?
At 2.
Right. So, what episode? Let's hear your. Let's hear the one that is just okay or worse, and then let's hear the one that you end up liking a bit more.
Okay. So, like I said, I have 2 of them, and no, Batman vs. Green Lantern is not one of them.
I know
There,
you hate that episode. I know you hate that episode with a passion.
Yeah, and I hit our quota with that. Okay, so now 2 episodes that I was too harsh on were actually from season 2, both of them.
Oh.
Ooh.
Season 2 fights.
And surprisingly, they're separated by 1 episode. And so the first, and I'm going in release order here. The first Death Battle release that I was too harsh on was Kirby versus Majin Buu.
Oh, that was a really good episode. So
Okay.
let's hear the story.
I think I can understand why. Go ahead.
Okay, so when I saw that this was announced, I was really bagging on Majin Buu winning because I hated Kirby back then.
You animal.
Yeah, so when the episode was released, I watched it. It was fine. I loved the analysis of Majin Buu. It was so ominous. I loved it. Kirby, I really couldn't give two shits about. The animation was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. And then death happened. Majin Buu lost. He got pissed.
Yeah, I kind of get the annoyance of that.
Yeah, I was really hoping Majin Buu's destructive power would destroy that pink little shit, and when it didn't happen, I hated this episode for that. Then after a bit of time thinking about it, I grew to agree with the result here. I still hate Kirby now, not as much as I did before. Yeah, I agree that Kirby wins that one.
Kirby is
yeah.
crazy OP. I never even realized it was like,
Oh yeah.
Name me another character that can hit someone with a frying pan to the sun and back. Come on.
Yeah, good point. I get what you're saying though, 'cause I was a big Dragon Ball fan, seeing Boo, which wasn't my favorite Dragon Ball villain, but he was cool enough. But seeing getting taken out like that was a bit underwhelming.
Yeah. And from that to another anime battle, and that is Ara versus Toph.
The episode I was thinking, because I remembered you said they were separated by 1 episode.
Yeah, so
I thought it was something different, but those were separated by 2.
As you get-
the thing for me, Gar vs. Toph is still my least favorite episode of season 2.
I will say.
I see.
Because I like Gara and Toph, but I didn't like this episode. But Fire will go on.
I will say the death was pretty shit for Garo. It felt like a big middle finger to his character to go out.
Also, he went from this is sacred ground to destroys the place.
Yeah. I mean, that's how most death battle goes. Like,
Yeah.
Like Batman's meant to be protecting the Watchtower. He uses it to freaking like batter swing on Iron Man. Hey, he's got money. He can replace it. Oh wait.
I mean, I guess Damien has money?
It's comics. He'll be back.
You know what? True.
Unless you miss Marvel,
Yeah.
then you're not coming back.
Yeah, but go on, Fireball.
So, unlike Kirby versus Majin Buu, I actually liked both of these characters. I watched both of them a lot. I'm actually watching a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender reactions. They were all really amazing. So at the time, I actually did not care who would win. I thought to myself, and I enjoyed both of the analyses. They were really good. Hell, I even imagined Toph visiting Gara at the Sand Village and them going over this episode with their analysis, and like they just enjoying themselves. Animation started, and I could vaguely recognize Gara's voice, and eventually came to conclusion that he was voiced by General Ivan from Team 4-Star. So, I was happy about that.
It's turned out to not be true.
Wait, what?
Gara was voiced by Chris Guerrero.
That's General Ivan.
Does he play General Ivan, mate? You know Team 4-Star better than I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
General Ivan is Chris's online name. All right, and then
Yeah, it is Chris Guerrero.
Yeah, I saw an opportunity. We finally got a Sean L, people.
I don't watch Team 4-Star, so how the fuck was I supposed to know?
Then don't act
I
like
just
you...
looked it up on the Death Battle wiki.
Then
to
Sean, don't
make
act
sure.
like you know what you're talking about then.
so yeah, the
Didn't have enough time for
death
the air
happened.
horn.
Death happened. Gara died, and once again I was angry. I was angry, even though I told myself that I didn't care who would win. I got angry that another anime character died.
Oh god, do you remember when that was the big thing? Why did another anime... Man, I forgot that was like the big controversy. We go from anime characters...
Fuck, son of a
Yeah, I
shit
know.
weasel!
Like, man, we need to...
Yeah.
The problem also was just the way they made that death. That was not the best decision.
No, it was a shit death. At some point, kind of going off topic, we need to someday talk about the Death Battle stupid controversies, like how Death Battle hate anime, Death Battle are feminist, Death Battle are woke.
Vegeta.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's add that to our backlog, shall we?
Might as well. I think maybe we have talked about it in the past, but I'll get check for them and see if we have. But yeah, Fireball, continue.
But again, like Kirby versus Majin Buu, after thinking about it, I calmed down, and that the result made sense. The death made sense to me. So I definitely calmed down, and I do like this death battle more than Kirby versus Majin Buu. Yeah.
I will say this might
That's,
be a hot. Oh, sorry, I thought you were finished.
Those are the death battles that I was really wrong about. I was too hard on.
I will say probably a hot take. I do think now Gara would win against Toph, but obviously when the time this episode came out, then I would maybe understand why people thought Toph won.
I think the crew have even said, like, yeah, if they were to do this episode now, Gara would win.
Bill, I have a confession for you. This Gara versus Toph is one of the only few episodes where I actually disagree with the results. And I'm with you. I think Gara does win.
Yeah, obviously maybe back then, like, you know, because obviously Naruto's gone through a lot of changes over time, so yeah.
Let's just not talk about Gaara's redesign in Boruto because they massacred him.
Oh god, why'd you have to remind me of Boruto of all things? It's so close to burrito! That again, I had...
You know what, audience? Here's what they did to Gaara in Boruto. You're welcome.
I mean, like, to me, I don't see anything wrong with Boruto, so I think it's fine.
You know what, I take it back, this soundboard's amazing.
Hashtag more soundboard.
Yes.
Okay, I'm starting to see the enjoyment in it. I have become one
of us. One of us.
Okay. I'm just picturing mate by my window with a pitchfork, just one of us. One of us. Alright, then, so alright, we've been talking for 2 hours now? Okay, yeah, 2 hours. So, Fireball, have you said your piece?
Sean next?
Yep, so Sean, because
Yeah, I did.
mate seems to be building up his one, so...
I'll try to be brief because it sounds like Mate has a very big one. So,
Oh
with
my.
you.
When I can add another sound to the soundboard, that is definitely going to be one.
But, so, this is an episode I was not really big on back in Season 7.
Ooh, a Season 7 one.
It was an episode that people gave me shit for not liking as much. So much so that they questioned why I said Batgirl vs. Spider-Gwen was better than this one. Even though everyone else I knew liked it more than I did. I think you guys can guess where I'm going. That's right, baby! It's She-Ra vs. Wonder Woman!
Ah, I actually liked that episode, really.
Exactly!
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I had it at number 19 for our ranking. I did not like that episode.
What changed your mind?
I think over time, I went back to see it and I'm like, okay, I like the choreography despite how short it is. I think the voice acting for both were fantastic. Wonder Woman's model was good for the time. And also the soundtrack by Werewolf, oh boy. Especially towards the ending of the fight, that was awesome. And also that death, sure it doesn't make sense with the fucking hair, but you get to see the tree pop off with the head.
I'm a sucker for like the typical anime slash nothing happens and then decapitation.
I also like the ending because, like, okay, so when She-Ra breaks Wonder Woman's bracelets, you go, oh damn, she broke the bracelets! To, oh, she broke the bracelets, you're dead.
Yeah.
And the way with the music in that scene was insane. And you know, the research, the analysis, I actually went back and I thought she was funny. And I think they did a good job of Wonder Woman's analysis. I was definitely harsh on this episode when it came to our ranking. But I've grown into respect for it. I think it was really solid.
I think if there's one thing I can agree with people on, and I'm not usually one to really give these criticisms because I couldn't give a shit, the thumbnail does kind of look like it was made at the last second. Yeah,
even so, I feel like I was kind of harsh on this episode, and I would probably rank it higher on Season 7. But that's the episode I feel like I was the most harsh on, that I've gone back and found a newfound respect for. So I will pass this on to Rocket Mate. Go ahead.
I forgot that was his nickname now.
Okay, I'm just gonna go through like a quick 3 before I go for like the big one. And I'm gonna go in reverse. So first of all, Batman vs. Iron Man, just because I was really annoyed about the fact that it was yet another Batman episode, and there was something behind the scenes that also made me not too excited for it, but looking at it as an episode, it's honestly fucking great.
Plus the music.
I mean, if anything, just listen to Suit Yourself.
Oh, it is really good.
Yeah.
Just don't tell Yang. I mean, she's probably gonna watch this, so she really hates that episode.
Wait, I had. Oh yeah, no. So next one, just because of like, well, these next two are just because of my reactions. Ben 10 versus Green Lantern. That's mostly because like, okay, good episode, and yes, Green Lantern does win. Honestly, I just think the the ending kill should have been something else, and the explanation needed some work.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Because the reasoning of, yeah, celestial sapiens are really powerful, but they can be beaten and have failed in the past. Couldn't I just apply that to a Green Lantern?
I think if they would have gone over, while Ben has so many aliens, Alien X was the only one he could logically win with. So more times than not, Green Lantern could beat him in other forms.
Yeah, it just needed to. I just feel like the analysis needed to rework.
I think the one thing that made me kind of sad about your reaction, you were complaining over the Green Lantern oath, man, and it was such a good oath speech as well. Like, seriously, the actor for that episode didn't get enough credit when he did the Green Lantern oath. Like, the shout at the end after he powered up was so good.
I think Mate specifically said, "Oh, you just pulled that out of nowhere," and I'm just like, "Yeah, he can do that."
Yeah, that's also just me not knowing too much about Green Lantern, and also just wanting Ben to win.
I know, I just feel as though that
Me both,
moment...
dude.
I feel as though that moment ruined your moment to have your Green Lantern oath cherry popped.
The next two are kind of, okay, Mario vs. Sonic 2018, I'm just gonna admit it, it's just Sonic bias, and, I remember even going back through it with Max, who loves this episode. Will admit, in the animation, Sonic was kind of made a complete chump. But, I get it, it's a hand-drawn thing, you can only do so much, and, the animation for that episode is still great.
Yeah.
Man, Laughing Dragon tried their best, especially with their only other work before that was Smokey versus McGruff, so
Yeah.
it's like, how do we apply slapstick to characters that aren't really known for slapstick?
I will say, I still love how Mario rips off his his skin just to get into his normal clothing.
I love when Laughing Dragon did send him an alternate shot of that scene.
I was about to bring that up.
Yes!
Wait, I'm not aware of this.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm gonna have to find the Death Battle cast. I'll look for it later. Okay, the big one. Oh boy. It's actually Goku versus Superman.
Oh.
What?
The original.
Dun dun dun.
What?
I didn't think you would be harsh on that episode, honestly.
Okay, you remember back in the day when people were just mad that Goku lost?
You're one of them?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It was me,
Like,
You were
Shawnee.
one of them?
Yeah, well, keep in mind, this is also, before I even had a presence, on anything. This was before I made any of my You Only Mate accounts. But, yeah, I remember watching that episode and just being gutted that Goku lost, and just... Yeah, I was just mad about it. But then eventually I just, looked at myself in the mirror and thought to myself, to quote Dumb and Dumber, "Man, you are one pathetic loser."
Aw, that's too harsh.
Oh, man.
Now you're being too harsh on yourself.
Yeah. Though I will say what kind of made me go back is just one, realizing okay, yeah, no, Superman's actually really freaking cool, and maybe nowadays Goku isn't. It's oh, you've kind of just endangered multiple universes where countless people could be erased, and you're just oh boy, I gotta fight strong guys.
Okay, I will admit, modern...
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, I will admit, the whole Goku wanting to fight strong opponents, yeah, it was done better in early Super and Dragon Ball Z, because, yeah, there was a high stakes, but when he did that with Frieza, the planet was already, the people were safe, so he could fight Frieza at his max. Cell, he always had faith that Gohan would be able to beat him, and Kid Buu, the planet was uninhabited, so there was that. But yeah, during the freaking Tournament of Power, maybe that's not the time you should be like that. I get what they were doing, but Yeah, it doesn't really
Back
show
when-
Goku at his best.
Back when that episode released, got a bit miffed that Goku died, but I was still okay with it after thinking about it a bit more.
Also, I think we can all agree, just like with everything that Death Battle has gone over, yes, Superman does win even now.
Superman
Yes.
is really overpowered. I mean, hell, even during the original days, he punched reality and restarted the universe.
Who does that?
Superman. Not only that, if you were to...
It's like WWE's slogan when it comes to Superman. Superman wins then, now, and forever.
Not only that, similar to what they did with 4 vs. Vegeta, they didn't give Superman his transformations, like Superman 1 million. He could literally control reality. It's like... Yeah, and if they're going to be like, well, we can't give Superman that, so it's just like, well, why can we give Goku Ultra Instinct but not Superman this ability?
Even
So-
with Ultra Instinct, Goku still loses.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still
Yeah,
down for...
no, Goku is not beating Superman.
I'm still down for a rematch, because I do feel as though, even if the fight doesn't end differently, I do think the analysis does need to be better.
Oh yeah, and dude, imagine the fight.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they could ever get the Superman actor back, because that YouTuber has kind of been absent for the last few years.
And unfortunately, they probably won't get Moscow back after Vegeta versus Gogeta.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We could always get Michael Kovac as Goku.
Yeah, I wonder why Masako hasn't returned as Goku. They got on all the other two
that's-
All-Star guys.
I think it's because that Masuko's voice for Goku for that death battle didn't really fit for that death battle there.
Yeah, it was because they wanted to go with someone who sounded more like Sean Schemmel, although ironically, a lot of people mistook Michael for Masako when that preview came out.
Yeah, plus
Really?
So, whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus most people tend to forget Masako's doing like an impersonation of the Japanese voice actress.
And a little bit of the original English dub.
Yeah. I think with everything said and done, yeah, it's we had some episodes that we were too harsh on, and honestly, people, over the years, there's going to be episodes that we might have not liked, but we might end up loving them. Sasuke versus Hiei, how long for Lads Discuss Death Battle have I constantly done that look at how they massacred my boy meme? But now I'm like, this episode is fucking amazing.
I mean, I can still see you doing that meme just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that whole Wonder Woman versus Rogue thing. It's like, look, I did the reaction, I said the episode was just fine. So it's like, look, there's only so long you could do a meme joke. Like, hell, when was the last time you've heard me do the Bantha joke?
You know what, fair.
Yeah, so, and honestly, I think that's a good summary of just like, you know what? I think our hatred for some of these episodes just eventually became apathetic. Like, there's only so long you can hate something for. Because one of the things that we always like to tell ourselves, these were made by people who clearly loved the show and who worked hard. Sure, some of them still have flaws in them, but I think, one, it can depend on our mental state at the time, it could depend on like the mood we're in, or it could just be the timing of the episode.
Yeah, like, hell, I remember, like, given what was going on when SpongeBob vs. Aquaman came out, that certainly didn't help me. Although something was happening that also made me like Trunks vs. Silver a whole bit more.
Yeah. So, I guess the moral of the story is, honestly, people, go back and watch some episodes. There might be some episodes you thought were utter trash, and you might look at it and be like, you know what? It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and even just think, like, you know what, given the time this was made, like, yeah. So solid.
So, I guess we'll wrap up now. So, we obviously want to thank Fireball for coming back after over a year. Sorry, my man.
No problem, dude.
But if we definitely want to try getting you on more, especially we're trying to actually get more guests to appear on. We tried to get another guest on, but we couldn't, so we all just thought, how about Fireball? He hasn't been on for a while. We thought, you know what? Good idea. Plus,
Even though it was kind of like last minute, honestly.
yeah, but on the plus, I think it was a better choice because, you know, you're more familiar with Killua, so you could have your thoughts on, plus you're a big Stitch fan, so it was perfect.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll do my outro and then we'll just do the usual. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to share the video around, keep the channel growing, and give us your takes from this topic and the last episodes we talked about. Because some people tend to forget, these are sessions. These aren't just recorded like the next day or something, these are sessions. With all that said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and stick around, I'll have more content like this in the future. Fireball.
Yeah, once again, thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I really do hope you bring me on more. I've been saying for the last few times I've been in that I've been trying to get my YouTube going, and I've actually started to do that with my friend Sean. We've been doing a dueling on Master Duel, and I hope you check them out.
Alright, you ready, mate?
Well, before I do an outro, I just want to point out the next time we record, I'm going to be going to Texas the following day.
Nice.
Wow.
So, yeah. I'm probably going to be packing most of that day and then recording. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out everybody's channels. Check out everything that Billy does. And once again, thank you, Fireball. Thank you, Fireball, for coming back. And also thank you, Torok, for drawing my OC and Belladonna.
Alright, and Shawnee.
Thank you, folks, for watching. I hope you enjoyed our sessions of Lads Discuss Death Battle today. Let us know your thoughts on Killua versus Misaka down below. Who do you think wins between Stitch versus Rocket? Because we were pretty split, all things considered, letting fate decide for two of us. And what episode were you harsh on that you look back and say, you know what, it was a solid episode? I would love to read your comments down below. Thank you much for watching, and I will see you all later.
So, mate, are you going to finally not shoot me for once in these episodes?
No.
So it was 39.50, was it?
56.
Alright, so this is the alternative one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! that is horrifying!
Which is why I'm pretty sure you love it.
Oh god, man, these people have just sense of humor.
I mean, they did a parody of The Little Mermaid with an evil warlock, man.